Ever wondered what the tax implications are when you own or trade Bitcoin? Today, we dive into the world of Bitcoin and taxes. Imagine this. Jane, an early adopter of Bitcoin, bought 10 Bitcoins at $50 each back in 2011. Fast forward to 2024, and each Bitcoin is worth over $30,000. Jane decides to sell 5 of her Bitcoins. The question is, what are the tax implications of this transaction? In most jurisdictions, Bitcoin is treated as property for tax purposes. This means that capital gains tax applies. It's the difference between the purchase price, known as the cost basis, and the selling price that is subject to taxation. In Jane's case, her cost basis was $500, and she sold for $150,000. The capital gain to report on her taxes is $149,500. Now, consider John, who uses Bitcoin for his daily transactions. He bought a Bitcoin for $1,000 and used it to buy a laptop when Bitcoin was worth $2,000. Although it may seem like a simple purchase, this is considered a taxable event. The capital gain here is $1,000, and John is required to report it on his tax return. But what about Alice, who mined Bitcoin? Mining Bitcoin is a bit different. The IRS treats mined Bitcoin as income at the fair market value on the day it was mined. So if Alice mined a Bitcoin on a day when it was worth $3,000, she would have to report $3,000 of income on her tax return. To summarize, owning and trading Bitcoin can have significant tax implications. Whether you're selling Bitcoin for a profit, using it for transactions, or mining it, there are tax consequences to consider. When it comes to capital gains, it's important to calculate the difference between your cost basis and selling price. For those using Bitcoin in transactions, remember that each transaction can be a taxable event. And for miners, the value of the Bitcoin on the day it's mined is treated as income. In all these situations, understanding your tax obligations can help you plan and potentially mitigate your tax liability. This is a complex and evolving area, so it's always a good idea to consult with a tax professional who understands the intricacies of Bitcoin and taxes. Remember, tax evasion is a crime, and ignorance of the law is no excuse. So the next time you're contemplating a Bitcoin transaction, remember Jane, John, and Alice. Consider the tax implications and make sure you're prepared when tax season rolls around. Stay informed, stay compliant, and as always, keep exploring the fascinating world of Bitcoin and taxes.